Alrighty, so I'm here to tell you today that, and like nobody doesn't know this already, but our nation is out of whack. We have no clue what we're doing as a country anymore. And how do we tell that our nation has gone over the cliff? We're already over the cliff. I'll tell you. All you have to do is look at what's happening with, you have partisan politics, all this stuff, but we're going to get to that. Let's start with, we had this individual in Minneapolis who was basically asphyxiated by the police, and he was basically just stopped for some reason. I don't know what happened, and they got on top of him and handcuffed him and just stayed on the top, four guys on top until he died. And you see that, you see a lot of incidents of this kind of stuff, right? And some of them, when you have a shooting or something like that, a police officer might be justified in doing what he did. In this case, it sure does not look that way. So we have this happen, and blatantly it happens right in front of everyone. And you say to yourself, well, how does this happen in our country? And our response to this should be the judicial system will take this on. The people responsible for killing someone unjustly are going to pay the price for it, and that's that. But instead, our response is, let's burn part of our city, let's tip over cars, throw rocks, do whatever we can do to disrupt our community's businesses and loot those businesses, because that'll help. That's going to help, right? Doing that isn't going to bring any justice to the situation. All it does is create new crimes, more crimes. So you have that. Then you have political ads. You gotta love political ads. I mean, political ads are fun. All of them say, if they're a Democrat, they say, I'll stand to stop the president from doing whatever. It could be a million things, but whatever it is at that moment that they want to stop the president from doing. If you're a Republican, I'll stand with the president. And of course, on the Republican side, they all have ads that say, showing the other individual, whoever they're running against, bad-mouthing the president before he was elected. And they all talk about how they're pro-Second Amendment. They should be pro all amendments to the Constitution, shouldn't you? I mean, is someone against what the Constitution stands for? Shouldn't be. And those are the people you should need to advertise if people are against the Constitution in any way. The other thing would be, you see a lot of people now wearing face masks, because of the coronavirus. And before the coronavirus, these face diapers, that's what I like to call them, face diapers, because they sit there and they have these straps and stuff, and then if whatever comes out of your mouth might just be caught in this diaper thing. But before there was a coronavirus, there was a whole bunch of experts telling us a face mask does not work. It's not good, doesn't help. Sometimes it hurts more than it helps. You're always touching your face, these kinds of things. But now, for some reason, we all have to wear these masks. In New Mexico, it's mandated. You have to wear a mask. So the thing about that is, you have other countries all around the world who've been wearing masks for a long time, places like China and Japan, they wear them regularly. And when the coronavirus came on, pretty much all of them wore masks. So you see the armies in those countries marching, and they have masks on. And per capita, we don't see such a huge decline there. It's not like nobody's catching it with. If everyone wore N95s that catch 95% of the particulates, or even an N100, there is one of those too. I mean, it's literally got filters and stuff. But if you wore that, if everyone wore that, you probably would be able to actually stop the transmission of this virus. But you're not going to do a lot putting a piece of cloth over your face, or just a little surgical mask. An N95 would help, but we need to leave N95s for people that are treating people with this illness. Which brings me to the next thing. I've been seeing on social media and in the mainstream media, mass graves in Brazil, because so many people are dying from the coronavirus in this country that there's no place to put them. They're piling up. People are dying and just piling up. So mass graves. And then you find out that the media has been taking photos from Bosnia and other places where graves were where graves had been dug, and they take those photos and they say, this is Brazil, they're digging mass graves. And then they get called on it and they say, well, we didn't get a photo of the mass graves there. Well, you can't use a photo then. You're just going to have to tell us this is what we say happened, but we don't have a photo of it, which is odd. And you then look at it and say, okay, well, all these people are dying there, and you say, well, let's take a look at the numbers. 25,000 people have died there from coronavirus out of 2.9 million people. I wonder if worldwide we would just do what we did with the coronavirus. We did this with the flu last year, whatever flu we had last year, just a regular flu. We tracked it the same way. We tested for it by itself, this in the exact same way. And we would then, anybody who died from anything, I don't care what it was, because that's what's happening now, make no mistake. If someone dies from a heart attack, but they had a coronavirus, even if they had very mild coronavirus, they died from coronavirus. So, if you did that the same way, I wonder if it wouldn't be exactly the same thing. Would we not have exactly the same result, if not more? Deaths from flu and related causes, and because for a long time, the flu was ahead of the coronavirus in deaths that people had every year. Only now, in the last month or so, has it surpassed the flu in deaths in this country and worldwide, and only because we include everything when it comes to coronavirus as a cause of death. In other words, there are instances out there where people have been on their death certificates been said they died from coronavirus, and they died in a car accident, but it's on their death certificate they died from coronavirus. Because they would have died anyway, which, we don't know that. So, if you did that same thing, it'd have the same result from the flu virus. And the point is, the media leading the people to believe what they want you to believe. So that's how you tell your country's out of whack.